edition of the Contractor's Secret Weapon weekly podcast with your hosts, Dave Negri. This program is dedicated to helping contractors, remodelers, painters, roofers, roof cleaners, and business owners in the construction industry gain an unfair advantage over the competition. This program supplies you with information that the competition doesn't even know exists. This session brought to you by ContractorsSecretWeapon.com.
This is Dave Negri with Contractor's Secret Weapon, and today for all you guys who love sales, even for you guys who don't like sales, I've got a really awesome guest with us. His name is Kayvon, also known as the One Call Closer. He's one of the most effective and sought-after sales trainers in closing clients over the phone, which is really cool. An international sales trainer, keynote speaker with over 20 years of closing experience, Kayvon helps coaches, consultants, and service providers, hear that guys, service providers, close high-ticket services over the phone with one call, even for those who hate selling. So Kayvon and his one-call closer system has helped thousands of coaches close millions of dollars in sales over the phone with one strategy. Kayvon has spent decades developing the art of closing and has proven why traditional sales tactics don't work, which I think is awesome. So Kayvon, thanks so much for being with us today, being willing to share your expertise with our listeners so they can grow.
Thank you so much for having me. What a bio that was. Thank you.
That was awesome. I'm just excited because, I'm like one of those guys that I enjoy selling. I enjoy talking with people, but the phone has not been my best friend. Let's put it that way.
I get that. I think the phone to a lot of people feels like 1,000 pounds. I remember years ago when I first started, it literally felt like 1,000 pounds. It scared me. It paralyzed me. And it's just one of those, and I realized it was more of an internal thing than an external thing, right? Like, at the end of the day, you pick up that phone, the other people on the other end, they don't care. They're not going to remember you. Right. The only person that's going to remember is yourself if you keep it, keep remembering it. So the phones, I tell people the way the phones are not as bad as people think they are.
Well, yeah, I would imagine, like you said, it's an internal thing, and once you get past your own self, then and scripts help a lot, don't they? Because now you're not fumbling and thinking of words to say.
You just said it. That is the absolute key, and the most important thing is scripts. There's so many people, like so many businesses that I walk into, and the first thing I ask them is like, "Let me see your script," and they literally go, well, "What are you talking about?" Well, what's the script your people are using? Because if you don't have a script, you don't have a flow, and it's especially when you're first starting out. You need that script because if a customer gives you an objection, a prospect gives you an objection, or a prospect throws you off, where are you going to go to get back on track? Not only that, and this is very important for people that have businesses with employees, the script maintains the message, the single message. It maintains the culture that you want your prospects to know your business is about. If I'm calling, one contractor and they're saying one thing and then I call back and then their receptionist saying another thing and another thing, it's confusing, right? And it's not congruent. You got to be congruent to your message, congruent to your product.
Wow. Somebody was telling me the other day they called one company for something and ended up talking to 3 different people and for the same thing and got 3 different prices.
There you go. Like that's a major fail. Yeah. major fail. And some companies, they kind of get away with it if they've already scaled out and they're big. Like, as an owner, you can't keep on everything. But if you're especially if you're starting out or you're looking to restructure, you need to get on these things. And another thing I say, I love scripts because scripts, you need them. And then, yes, scripts then become internal when you become a master, but not when you're beginning, not when you're an amateur. You got to run a script. But a script is part of a system. And if you know anything that I know in business is if you want to ever scale your business, if you ever want to franchise, you got to implement systems. Systems, right, you implement systems, you make more money in less time. It never fails.
Yeah, because they're the key to everything. Because once one thing's in place, then you can go to another thing. And now you've got a scalable system.
Mm-hmm.
I know one of the things while you were talking is just do you promote? I'm trying to think of the word. When training where they talk to each other.
Oh, you're talking about role playing.
Role playing, yeah. I couldn't think of the word.
Sorry, I was trying to help you out. I'm thinking,
yeah.
No, that's what that's really what I find. What I do is really different than a lot of other sales trainer, a lot of other people that do what I do. Is they'll come in. So most sales training companies, they'll come in, they'll develop the script, they'll leave the script there, they'll do a couple calls, show the employees kind of how it's done, and then they walk away. That's not what I do. One of the most important thing that I do is the role playing, because you have to role play before you get on the phone, and you have to understand and listen to everybody individually. So for me, I actually work one-on-one with each employee until they can handle objections, because it's not just about handling objections, it's also about tonality.
Yeah.
It's knowing when to ask the right questions. I can give them a script. That's just one thing. You give any actor a script, but is the actor going to perform the script like it's supposed to be, or is the master actor going to get on stage and perform like a superstar?
Right. Yeah, because it all has to do with how you're feeling that day and practice. I remember a coach we had when we were doing real estate, he would talk about, role playing to see the client and stuff like that. And when he was in the corporate world, all of his salespeople had to role play. He says, matter of fact, we made them role play before they went out on a big call.
Absolutely.
And
it's practice.
Yeah. And he goes, boy, the closing ratio is great, but anybody who says, no, I don't want to do that, guess where they weren't working that day?
At that job.
Yeah, that job. He said, no, we wanted people to be successful, because if you're successful, then the company's successful. I mean,
you just said it.
And then, then you get to keep your job and everyone's happy.
Yeah, no, you just said it. And I mean, again, it's role playing is very important. And the other one that I see a lot of people not doing is recording their calls. When you're just starting out, you need to record your calls, because you got to listen to your calls and see and you got to put that back on the employee. It's not up to the manager or the owner or the CEO to listen to all the calls. It's up to the actual salesperson on the phone to listen to their calls and find out, where did they lose the sale? Where did they ask that wrong question, so they can get better? So it's scripts, it's role playing, it's recording the calls. There's a process to it. Yeah. Another one, you got me started. Now you got me going.
No,
this
that's
is what
okay. Go.
Right, and another one that I see all the time is they don't have their objection handlers written down. Meaning, you get the typical, let me think about it. Well, listen, I have 5 objection handlers for let me think about it. It's written right in front of me. 5 different ones. So if a customer says, let me think about it, boom, I already know how to do that. Boom, it's already that. And for every business, there's always 1 or 2 different objection handlers depending on what you're selling. So you need to come up. And again, this is for anybody, whether they're going to hire me or hire someone else or do this on your own. And I'm just going to put this out there, is you need to listen, listen to your prospects and figure out what is the objections that they're giving you, and then write them down, and then come up with at least 3 to 5 ways that you can handle that objection next time you get it. And if you just do that, it's one of these, short-term pains. Is it fun? No, it isn't. But is it fun when you master it in 6-7 months and you become a one-call closer like I am? That is when it becomes fun.
Well, that's because you set. I'm sure you set the goal out ahead of yourself. Okay, I've got this, and to do, and I can do it in 6-7 months. And now my closing ratio has doubled or tripled, and I'm making more money because I took the time to learn the process to make it easier. Ultimately, easier for yourself, for me, the guy that's doing the sale.
Absolutely. You just said I took the time and I learned it. I understood the fundamentals. It wasn't, I want it now and I get it tomorrow. It just doesn't work like that. And that's one of the things when I get brought into companies, they say, I need a script. And I said, it doesn't work like that. I'll write you actually a couple scripts. Yeah. And we got to test the script, right? Because there's not one script fits all or one objection fits all. Yeah. So you got to test it. And that's what I do is I work, I listen, I test, that's what I do for myself. That's what I've done for myself, and that's why I built this, because I've seen that this is. It's not that it's even it's a dying art. This is. I've never seen many people do this, and this what brings me to one of my favorite things that I say is there's a huge difference in this world between selling and closing. I don't consider myself a salesman anymore. I consider myself a closer. I let my people do the selling. I let the funnels do the selling. I let the advertising do the selling.
Yes.
When you're speaking to me, right? When you're speaking to me on the phone, I'm doing the closing.
Right, because they're ready to. They've gone through whatever your funnels are, whatever your process is, and now they're at the point where they're ready. They should be ready to buy.
They should. It's not even that they should be ready to buy. They have at least a little bit of interest. They know who you are. You see, the world, I'll tell you, whether it's on the phones, whether it's in retail, wherever you go, the world is filled with salespeople. It's literally littered with bodies of people who know how to sell, but very, very little of them know how to close.
Right.
In fact, there's millions of people, and you would probably relate to this, that have had many ideas. They have had dreams. They had phenomenal things going on, but they gave up. They gave up on themselves, and because of that, their dream, their idea, it died. And why? It's because they couldn't close their idea. They couldn't bring that idea to market and convince people or close the market that it's a good idea. And then you know what happens? Somebody else comes by and picks that idea up, picks that concept up, but has the ability to close and takes it to market. Yeah. Now, the worst part is, who gets the credit? The dreamer or the closer?
The closer.
The closer.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's amazing on how many guys will go out and do proposals and never ask for the sale.
I don't do proposals.
No, well, yeah, okay. Tell me a little bit about your step. Your.
Well, I mean, I do my right now because I'm known. I mean, I just get calls coming in, but. Right. But I mean, you get to a position when you do that. But before, I didn't. When I was selling, I was doing proposals because I was trying to sell. Okay. I was trying to be like everybody else.
Let me ask you one of these questions. I know that everyone makes mistakes or common mistakes. So what are some of the most common mistakes that people do when try to close over the phone?
Well, see, the common mistakes that I would say 98% of most people do when trying to close over the phone, and this is especially in my space, which is the high ticket space,
right?
Is they literally act like a traditional salesperson. And when you're trying to ask someone for $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, I even sold $30,000 over the phone. It is not like traditional sales where it's, hey, yo, man, this is my product, this is my service, it's going to be the best thing for you. Right? This is a serious decision they have to make, and you're not selling your features at this point. You're not selling your value. What you're selling is the transformation, and that's a serious emotional thing that happens between the prospect and them purchasing. So one of the common mistakes is they act like a traditional salesperson, and what happens if I were to call you and I'd say, hey, it's Kayvon here and we're doing this, and downtown Nissan, automatically you think salesperson, you shut down, you shut off.
Right. Yeah.
So another one is they get too excited. The sales process, I'll tell you, it's this is the secrets here. This is the secret sauce. Is it should not be a pleasant experience for the prospect. It shouldn't be easy for them.
No, because they're making a huge decision. So
exactly. Other mistakes I see a lot of salespeople make, they ask for the sale too early or they ask for the sale too late. They're not listening, right? It goes to the 80-20 rule, which is the most important, right? Is we know if you don't know what the 80-20 rule is, I seriously go look it up because
I do, yeah.
Yeah. I always when I speak, I always think of the people listening, right? Because I always like to bring the value to them. But the 80-20 rule in this case, when it comes to high ticket selling, is 80% of the customers talking, 20% you're speaking. And then I tell people, you're not speaking about you or your product or why you're so good. When you're speaking, you're only asking questions.
So ultimately, if I'm hearing you right, you're allowing the customer or your client or potential client or whatever the case may be, answer the question. So they're basically selling themselves.
Oh, you just figured it out.
Yeah.
That's the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Is you don't sell the customer or the client or the prospect or whatever it may be. The client is selling them. Here's how I know that I've done a really good job. Is at the end of the conversation or at the end of the close, they're thanking me. They're saying, thank you so much, Kayvon. I'm looking forward to this. Or thank you so much. I'm so excited to be part of this. You don't thank them. You will never hear me say, thank you. Thank you for getting, no. What I say is, I look forward to working with you.
Right. Yeah. Yes, but ultimately, I mean, really, if you're thinking about it psychologically, they're the ones that should be thanking you because you're bringing an experience to them that they need, and they've convinced themselves of it.
Exactly. That's why all we do here, the One Call Closer system is we just create the bridge from where they are to where they want to be. We are just the bridge to that transformation. Whether that's I need to get my business and I got to double my profits or revenues in business. Yeah. I need my life to go to this next level. Whatever it might be, you see every prospect doesn't matter what level they're at. Everyone has 3 levels of pain. And this is very important is you have your surface pain, your financial pain, but the most important is personal pain. You see, salespeople, they sell at the surface pain. Customer calls me and says, or prospect calls me and goes, oh, my Facebook ads aren't working and the marketing's not working and this isn't working. That's just surface pain. That's you cannot sell, you cannot close on surface pain. Then you get that financial pain where now it's a little bit more deeper where I don't have enough money to pay my bills. Or I have to shut my doors down, or my dream's going to be over because I can't. Whatever that might be, right? I got to shut this department down because the money's not coming in. You can sell in that, you can close in that, but if you want to close every single time like I do, you got to get to the personal pain. So let me break it down for you. My Facebook ads aren't working. And because of that, I now have to shut down this department and fire all my employees. That's pain 1, pain 2. But because of that, now I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm the best salesperson or business person. I don't feel confident. Or if I don't get the sale, my wife is going to leave me. My kids, I don't see my kids enough. They already hate me. And I do not want to go home and tell them I went bankrupt. That's personal.
Yeah.
That's where that is what you need to play.
So, I mean, in reality, if you can get to the personal pain and you can solve that problem, they're begging you to do business with you.
They're begging you to do business with me. I don't like that whole, they're begging me to do business. No, again, right? I'm not, what I do, and this is why it's very important for the contracts that I pick up. I will never pick up a contract unless I absolutely believe in the product, in the service, and the outcome of it. I will, because of what I do, I can literally change people's lives within one call. I do not want to show these skills or teach these skills to people who are going to take advantage of this, because this becomes psychology, and this becomes a serious thing that I'm not going to be part of.
Right, and I understand that. And I was just joking around with it, begging you, but
I know that.
They've come to the conclusion that they need what you have because they can't do it. And like I've had guys call me and say, "Well, I need some marketing materials, and it needs to work." And I'm going. I said the first problem is you're needy, and no matter what anybody does, it's not going to work fast enough for you. So the answer is no. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But and you come across that on every level.
It doesn't matter what level it is, right?
Right.
All of the levels you got to have there. There's the pains, the surface, the financial, that personal. If you can live, and listen, see, the thing is these your prospects keep their poker cards very close. Right?
Oh yeah.
And
everybody lies, right?
It's like I said, the master can get to the personal pain. It involves certain types of questions. It involves being able to ask them in different ways and being able to get them to open up. Because if they can't open up, if you can't really understand what it is that they're, see, I always say is give them what they want, but really give them what they need. Right. Yes. I want the money, but they actually need it because they gotta, there's something else behind that. Right.
Right. Yeah. And that's true. Yeah. And because I've talked about that with other marketers. Ultimately, everyone thinks they need one thing, but in reality, they need another thing. So you have to combine what they want with their needs and sort of like fold them in together so they actually get what they really need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I love the quote is people don't like to be sold,
right?
But they love to buy.
Yeah.
So stop selling.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. People.
That's why I say stop selling, start closing.
Yeah, stop selling. That's the new mantra. Stop selling, start closing.
Yeah. That's what you'll know me as, the closer.
The closer. That's cool. So Len, I'm just. I had a thought. It must have been a fleeting thought. High ticket offers, that's for a lot of guys. Any ticket offer over the phone is challenging, but because they feel that, and I know I have for a long time, is that they need to look the person face in the face to sell them. But you've overcome that challenge for everybody by creating a whole system and a program where the phone, by asking and having them go through your funnel, whatever, or a sales funnel, if you're working with a client, to get them to that, okay, they're ready for the phone. You don't have to go see them.
You do not have to go see them, and not at all. Again, it's different. It depends on the industry, right?
Sure. No, I understand.
At any given time, you're going to need to get on that phone, and you can close on that phone. You don't need, people that I always, the sales guys that I used to say this when I started. Oh no, I'm better in person. Well, I was better in person because I was scared of the phone, so I just convinced them.
Right? I understand. I understand completely. Yeah.
When I started, I tell you, that phone used to be 1,000 pounds. When I started cold calling, I think I would it was like pulling like tooth and nail for me to actually try to get that. I couldn't believe it. And then one day it just kind of clicked, and it's like, just get on the damn thing. And next thing you know, I'm doing 60, 70 cold calls a day. Now I don't do that. Anymore, but because again, I created a system where cold calling is called what we call interrupt marketing. That's like getting Facebook ads and all this stuff, and that's not what I do, right? I like information marketing, where somebody's looking for something and you're there to provide that solution, and now they want to know more, and they come find you, and they see you, and they go here, and then they go there, and they go, I now know this person, I want to speak with them. And it's up to me at that point. Do I want to take the call from you or not? Right.
They've raised their hand. That's always been my philosophy. I would rather be an invited guest than a pest.
Absolutely. I like that. Be an invited guest than a pest.
Yeah.
Right? So
So that's why I've always done my marketing, is to get them to call me, because now they're already engaged. I don't have to go engage them.
Exactly. Like, you're right. Like, I mean, think about when you call your hairdresser or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You call them, they take a booking, you're in there. So they're not selling you. You already went there, right? Like, you already know them. You're trying to get into them. You're 9 out of 10 times, you're actually asking them, can I get in a little earlier? Please, can I get in earlier? I got something coming up, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is, and it's so, I think that I would imagine, let's put it this, I would imagine that the biggest challenge that you help your people overcome is mindset.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, mindset's the biggest thing that everyone has to overcome is developing the right mindset and developing the positive mindset, understanding the psychology of just human behavior. I mean, if not, you'll never be successful doing anything with the wrong mindset or the negative mindset, right? The story goes, I love it. I can't promise you that you're going to be successful with a positive mental attitude, but I can definitely guarantee you'll never succeed with a negative attitude.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
I was listening to a podcast that they were talking about, mindset, and they were saying, they said that, wealthy people have problems and poor people just have problems.
Mm-hmm.
But the wealthy people know how to overcome the problems because they know there's going to be more coming. They just take care of them,
It's how you roll with it, right? I mean, that really goes back to that. Yeah, how many times have I gotten beat up on the phone? Literally hung up, beat up, and you got to have thick skin. You do. You got to have thick skin. You got can't take things personal. How many times people have hung out? I remember my first job, like I got through this, some CEO, I was just guessing, like I'm going to try it. And I'll never forget, I got through him. Like, it was just by fluke. And he answers and I'm like, oh boy. Right. And it was just like, imagine if I was ready for that. Right. Imagine what could have happened. Right. And I froze because I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. I didn't have the right mindset. I didn't think that he would do business with me, but he isn't doing business with me. I'm providing him a solution, and he needs that solution.
There it goes.
That's a mindset change. You're not selling
how
something,
you're thinking,
you're providing a solution.
Yeah. So it's not. It has nothing to do with us. Like, I have a brother-in-law he's phenomenal on the phone. He is just, and I know that there's people that are natural, and there's people that have to work at it. And he's like one of the naturals. I mean, he can build instant rapport on the phone. Instant. And like when we were buying and selling houses years ago, he'd get on the phone, and within 5 minutes, he had all their mortgage information, he had social security number, he had everything, because they just trusted him on the phone. So, I mean, but that's what he works now. He works on the phone because he loves it, but he's developed, like you said, I'm sure it wasn't easy in the beginning. He's developed his own systems that make him successful, and he gets everything he needs. And
developed a skill. And I can guarantee you, if he's getting people's information, he's not talking. He goes back to what I always say, is asking the right questions. See a lot, and people go, "Oh, I've been asking questions. Oh, I ask a lot of questions." I go, There's only 3 specific reasons why you'll ask any question. You're going to ask a question either for discovery, so you're trying to gather the information required to close the sale as soon as possible. You're going to ask a question for control, because if the prospect's asking you questions, you've lost control. If you've lost control, you've lost the sale. There is no close. You always have to be in control. And
that's interesting.
And the third reason is motivation. You're going to ask a question for motivation, because if the prospect isn't motivated, they're not going to purchase. And motivation can either be discovered or it can be created if you're really good. And the prospect needs to get involved and get excited to get that order right away.
Yeah, that's cool. That's some really awesome information. This has really been awesome, because I love the psychology of everything. And that's basically what it is. You have to be almost a doctor, huh?
You're right. I don't never call myself a doctor.
No, I know.
But I do call myself the master, and I do call myself the one-call closer.
The one-call closer.
Or the media calls me that, I should say.
The media. Well, yeah, but that's so awesome. So, Kayvon, how can our listeners get in touch with you? If I had a big sales organization and I need more deals and to close them better and faster and make more money, how would they get a hold of you to contact you?
Absolutely. If you need any kind of sales training, if you just want to even learn what it is I do or get my systems, you can simply find me at kayvon.com. That's www.kayvon.com. And you can get my phone number, everything you need from that one link, kayvon.com.
Cool, and we'll put that up on our show notes, and we'll even put your phone number and your email address. Hey, this has really been awesome. Thanks so much. It's any last thoughts on maybe one of the biggest objections maybe salespeople face?
Well, there's the reasons though. There's reasons why people they get salespeople get these rejections, right? And it goes back to me saying that they're either overselling or they're not asking the right questions or they're not listening. I mean, for some objection handling, there's many of them you can have, but one of my favorite ones is, to think about it. And I always say, depending again at the level of sale and what price point it is, someone says, think about it, and it's $1,000 less. My number one rolls off my tongue is thinking about it isn't a business plan, doing is. How many times have you thought about this and you find yourself in the exact same position year after year wondering why nothing's changed? It's because of times like this. Let's to get this one thing off your to-do list so you can worry about other things. It's a way more, 10,000, 15, 20,000. there's different ways of doing that. I mean, I know we're coming off the show, so you're going to get me started. I don't want to do that. But, usually it's, the top three. So the top three, I think, and everyone agrees, that let me think about it, right?
Yeah.
Or I need to speak to my spouse.
Right.
Or partner, right? I need to speak to my spouse or partner. And if they're saying that to you, you haven't done your job qualifying them enough.
Right.
Because you should never be speaking to anybody but a decision maker. There's no point in spending an hour on the phone or half an hour or 20 minutes with anybody unless they can make a decision. They need to be there. And so it's like, let me think about it. Or, it's too much, or it's I can't afford it right now. And those are just, those objections only came, and I'll tell you, is because you haven't identified the personal pain. You haven't done your job.
So in true essence, because you haven't done your job, you've created the objections.
You just said it. Yeah. You as the closer, well, at that point, you're not closing, so you're a salesperson.
Right.
You at the salesperson just created that for yourself.
So if we had learned the scripts and learned the emotion and actually became the master actor by learning, because I all the things that you've been saying, they're just coming off because you have them all memorized.
I have them
memorized your scripts.
I've memorized them. Yeah. I've been doing this for years, but
sure.
You said, I love something you just said, which is very important. I know we're going off here. Is you said actor, and I say, as soon as you understand like psychology, sales psychology, plus understanding that you need to be an actor or an actress, that is when you become a master closer. And it's not being an actor, actress, being someone you're not. It's understanding how to become a person you need to be to get the close.
To play that role.
There's other, again, other objections that, ask what kind of guarantee do I get, right? Yeah. I love that. I love that one. I'm going to leave it at this one. When they ask you, what kind of guarantee you want? What would you say? Let me put it in there. What would you say if someone said, well, what kind of guarantee do you give?
It depends on your ability. What are you going to do? I mean, I'm going to give you everything you need to succeed, but I can't guarantee you'll succeed if you don't do anything.
Nah, that's good. That's not going to probably close them.
No. But
this is what I would say.
What's that?
Ask me what kind of guarantee. What kind of
guarantee can you give me on what we're doing?
Well, Dave, what kind of guarantee are you looking for? Let's pretend we can give you a guarantee. What would happen next? You wouldn't be comfortable doing business today, would you?
Yeah. You're dropping it back in my lap, so I'll tell you exactly what I want, and if you can give it to me, you're going to give it to me, and therefore you've closed the deal.
Yeah. That's just a little. That's one, right?
Yeah.
Did you see how that energy just changed?
Yeah.
Completely.
Because you weren't selling, you were just you're back to asking questions.
Yeah. So I can't be the person I want to be on the sales call every day, or I'd never get a sale. This is me. I got full of energy. I'm full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah.
And this is why I used to sell really good when it was, again, like $1,000 and less. I was the king of that. And then when I first got into high ticket, I couldn't figure out why I was failing. And then I realized very quickly what it was. So,
wow.
Yeah. So again, I know we went way over, and
that's cool. But it's been really awesome. Thanks. So this has really been awesome. Thanks so much for being part of our show. And I know that all of our guests, our listeners, are going to get a lot of it. And really, guys, you need to take advantage of what Kayvon can teach you so you can grow your business. So thanks, Kayvon.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, super.
Thanks for joining us for another weekly episode of the Contractor's Secret Weapon podcast with Dave Negri. We would love to hear your comments about this episode, so visit us online at www.contractorsecretweapon.com and let us hear your thoughts. If you are listening via iTunes, please leave us a positive review. The more positive reviews we receive, the more other contractors will benefit from this show. Thank you, and see you next time here on the Contractor's Secret Weapon podcast.